Then let's call the meeting to order.
Okay. Agnes Varnarski, Chairperson.
Present.
Dana Syvertson, Commissioner.
Here.
John Comish, Commissioner.
Here.
Ed Madden, Commissioner.
Here.
Seth Marcus, Commissioner.
Here.
Joe Moskow, Commissioner. Pete Hahn is not here, but we have a quorum.
Thank you. And let's have approval of the minutes of the board meeting of June 8th.
I make the motion that we approve the minutes as so beautifully crafted by our secretary, Jill Moskow.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes approved. Okay, old business. Before we go to old business, would you like to
Yeah, I'd like to
add?
introduce, let's see, we can do it under one topic, under new business. Make it like a catch-all for new initiatives, okay?
Okay.
We'll just call it new initiatives. We'll put it in right after the Eagle Scout project.
Okay, got it. Okay, then moving on to old business, volunteer work days. Have been very well attended. Our last work day was at Pollinator Park. We planted over 2,000, almost 2,000. It was like 1,920 plants in the shoreline restoration. Our next work day is the following Sunday, to be determined where exactly. We've had a really great turnout. We've had new volunteers. We had a couple people come out from the parades. So they saw us and they decided that they wanted to become volunteers. I think one person even said, I've been wanting to volunteer for a really long time. I think this is the time.
Yeah.
So it's been very exciting.
We've had two Transplant Wednesdays canceled because of the weather. And to date, we have logged in 1,204 hours, 4.5 hours in volunteers' time.
Yeah, in addition to the every other Sunday, of course, there's the Transplant Wednesday evenings, and there's also Friday mornings,
Are you-
nature's finest.
Nature's finest, that's right. Are you logging in hours for that too?
Yes.
On Fridays? Okay, great.
Mhm.
Is that a record so far? It seems like it.
No, it's not. We're actually behind the pace for 2022.
Okay. I think we might not be logging in everything. Yeah,
I agree.
We can only
Yeah,
log in what gets in.
I think
this
so.
week.
Yeah.
Like when Jill called.
Do you log us in for Wednesday mornings?
I don't think you do log us in for Wednesday mornings.
No, we haven't.
Well, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's like every Wednesday.
All right, we'll go
Every
back and
single
reconstruct
Wednesday.
it.
And then Sundays, when Jill comes, or Saturday afternoons, we should be really keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
Okay. We'll review, because we have a calendar, so I think we can go back and put in those hours. Okay, next is the Prospect Heights Public Library Park District events, Nature Speaks.
This next week, 7/19, we have Grace Hart from Avali Beekeepers. She's going to be giving her talk. That's an in-person talk and Zoom. And we just added Gerard Wilhelm as our next speaker in the winter. No, I'm sorry, the fall. And his date will be 10/19. His topic is he actually doesn't really want to give a talk as much as he wants to have a conversation. So he's expecting people to ask questions, to come with questions. And the evening is going to be billed as a conversation with Dr. Gerard Wilhelm. And he wants to talk about rare and endangered habitats in the Chicagoland region, climate change and species migration, and why land stewardship is more important than ever. So I think it would just be an absolutely fascinating, incredible evening. He remains a real staunch supporter of us, and he's just very happy to do it. So,
And could you please, for the record and for the recording, tell people who Dr. Wilhelm is? I mean, this is like the Pope coming,
Yeah.
honestly.
the second coming of the Pope.
Yeah.
Dr. Wilhelm is one of the originals in terms of Chicago restoration community. He was co-authored with Floyd Swank
In the 70s.
in the 70s, what's referred to as the Bible, and
Of plants.
the plants of Chicagoland region. And then he co-authored what's now called the New Testament, and it's a mile thick, the flora of the Chicagoland region with
Laura Rico.
Laura. And he has a foundation that is dedicated to clean water. He's at the forefront of virtually every discussion possible.
He invented FQI analysis, which
Right.
everybody uses, land managers use to assess the quality of restorations and recreations. So,
And he has long been known for his work in taxonomy as an educator and a renowned botanist. So it's a real feather in the cap. It's a really unique setting and a unique idea to do this. And I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Just clarification on the date for the July speaker. I could have sworn I got an email from the library saying it was rescheduled to the 28th.
No, that's that was the workshop on beeswax.
oh,
Oh, okay, all right.
That was the beeswax. It's not the Nature Speaks.
is that a Wednesday?
Yes, it's a Wednesday.
Oh.
Her talk is on a Wednesday. And the beeswax workshop had been moved to the 28th because of something that came up in her personal schedule. So
All right.
What time is that at the library?
Thought it was in the afternoon.
I believe it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, the 28th event?
The 28th
The
event,
28th.
yes.
What about the 19th?
The 19th is regular time, 7 o'clock.
Okay.
The fall bird walks then. Any questions about those two?
Do you need to explain the beeswax workshop to the
One of
public?
your beeswax.
Well, the beeswax workshop is an event that is provided by ALLE, and it's funded by ComEd. It was a donation to the library and to NRC to have Grace do a workshop on the wonders of beeswax. So she's going to talk about it. You're going to be working with beeswax, making candles, and it's a sort of a fun workshop environment. So I'm pretty sure it's probably full by now. It had a limited enrollment, but you could certainly go to the library and take a look and see.
Well, since that's on a Wednesday, her talk, will we be canceling Transplant Wednesdays then? For that Wednesday?
Yeah, we have
Okay.
to.
Okay.
The fall bird walks, Mary Lou has agreed to do the fall bird walks again and set the dates at September 9th and September 23rd. Those are both Saturdays, 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And that's it.
Okay, great. Projects, update status, Commissioner site monitoring reports. Boardwalk. We're just listing it, right? We've read
Yeah.
everything and I,
Yeah. The only thing I would point out here is that Peter, and I would make the suggestion that we do the next workday at the Nature Preserve. Peter has, in his report, had requested that we do that. That He says there's a lot of work to be done there. So that would be my recommendation.
can you do it on the Friday morning, this Friday?
No,
No, okay,
he says it's a major work day.
okay. Okay, then, if that's okay, then we'll move on to the seed greenhouse program.
Well, let me make
Yeah.
one comment on the pollinator park. So it's looking really, really, really good. The drought mixed with the deluge of water, and things are just coming to life. It's really great. So it's bringing a lot of people out, and there is some issue now with traffic and parking. And in fact, people are now making fires out there.
What?
Yeah. A group of boys were dropped off by their parents, and they started a big fire on the shoreline, and we're doing a little camping thing out there. So
Where?
right in front of, like about 404 Hillcrest, they started a fire, and we're starting to roast marshmallows and things like that. And so it's
bizarre.
it's drawing people, and I mean, there's tons of fishermen and everything, and that's great. So there are some issues with trash and drinking, and now fires. So we're going to have to address that somehow.
Why don't we have a meeting with Mark Roscoe? Think that would be
Okay.
appropriate?
I'll see if I can set it up.
Okay.
I know the one of the neighbors had called the police on the fire incident, and they came out and took care of things, but
Were they doing it on the grass or like not in our plantings or anything?
right on the edge of where, some turf grass and some planting, yeah. Right on the shoreline, kind of like, yeah.
I mean, it sounds like fun, but not an
Well,
appropriate place.
yeah, it's, you know, it's still a neighborhood and
Safety is an issue too.
and safety and, yeah, it's
Yes.
in the city's right away, yeah. Can't have a fire.
Right. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's have that meeting then.
All right.
Okay. Any other comments about the monitoring reports? No. Okay. Then seed greenhouse program update. We have already started to collect seed of our rare woodland, spring ephemerals, our sedges. It's going to start ramping up really quickly, probably in the next, I'd say, 3 weeks, where we really have to turn our greenhouse transplanting Wednesday evenings to seed collection Wednesdays. I think it's a nice transition. It just keeps those Wednesdays like continuous, other than cancellations for weather or other events. And we have just, I don't know, thousands of plants transplanted. Still needs a little bit of transplanting, still needs a little work, but we're doing really great, despite the fact that we lost half of the plants. So we're good. Any questions, comments? No? Okay. Prospect Heights Block Party.
I say, let's just remove that topic because we discussed it last time. It's a past event, so just forget it.
Yes. And it was great fun, wonderful. Independence Day Parade.
I'll jump in on that one.
Sure.
So we had a fantastic turnout again for building and creating another parade float and presence. And so on July 1st was the Prospect Heights Parade, and we had a really great turnout and outcome, and it was really fantastic.
47 volunteers.
47 volunteers participated, yeah, and so it was a lot of fun. A lot of big giant animals flying down the street, and led in a Caterpillar 20-foot long, led by Seth over there, who really did a great job. But a big thank you to everybody who participated in putting this together again, and it takes a lot of work, and also a big applause to everybody who helped break it down.
Great.
Yeah. And then July 4th, we had the Arlington Heights Parade. And so, again, that was another great turnout and a really good showing. And I just received a letter in the mail from Arlington Heights. And it said, "Congratulations on behalf of the Frontier Days Festival Parade Committee. We are pleased to confirm that your parade entry has been judged a winner. Prospect Heights Natural Resources Commission received first place award for creativity in the non-commercial category. Great job." So we'll be receiving a plaque for that.
Nice.
And it's great. It's the second year in a row that we've won first place in that parade, which is an honor. So that's great. Thanks everybody for having fun and making this happen.
It is always great fun.
Yeah, I'd like to, excuse me, give a special shout out to Spencer and Mary Watson, Monty. Who else was? I mean, those guys were there just constantly.
But most of all, John.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
most
John
of all,
led
John
this
and,
all.
of course, Kate Tully,
Yes.
the
Yes.
indispensable Kate Tully.
Yes.
And Jill as well for all those packets that.
Yes.
How
Oh
many
my God.
thousands?
How many hours and thousands of packets?
It was,
It
it
just
was,
was rote work.
Oh,
yeah, it was
it's a lot of time.
a lot of hard
Thank
work by
you.
a lot of people.
All in all, it was, and Ed, thank you for documenting everything. It's those great photos, great videos. A lot of people did that. A lot of people went out of their way to document things and send it to us. So we have, what I'm going to do is create a special page on the website for the 4th of July parades and just put everything there. And so you'll be able to click on it.
I'm wondering if we can parlay this into, for next year, into publicity for our mission. I'm wondering, Ed, you often have contacts in the media. If we were to have some bigger name newspaper come out, if we talk about, if we show them a video of, frankly, how good we are and how entertaining it is. I mean, I think a little 2-minute segment on the 5 o'clock news would not be shocking. And likewise in the local paper, in a bigger paper, in the Chicago Tribune or something, if they were to come out and, it's a feel-good story, but then, of course, the main purpose is to get out our message, is that Prospect Heights has a really cool nature-preserving organization.
Actually, I think it's a great idea. There are a number of reporters I could probably pitch it to. I can tell you in general, though, it helps to tie it into an event if at all possible. And when I say that, I mean like we did an open house at the SLU, for instance, or something when we, first opened up the boardwalk to have like a dedication, and also to get, elected officials like, Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, who was at the parade for here in Prospect Heights. She seemed very, very receptive to the work we're doing. And let's face it, when those type of dignitaries are involved, it also draws more attention. But there's a number of things we can look at, and I'll be happy to do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the TV stations for 4th of July, for the Independence Day, recognition, they do a fun piece on, look what's happening in this town, just to, and if they were at our town and saw our,
That did happen, by the way. ABC News on the 5 o'clock news had a segment on the Prospect Heights Parade, and we were in it, and the library was in it. You can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
yeah.
Who told you?
They're on demand.
Terry from
Terry from the Campbell from the library told me about it. She saw it. She said that, and I went and looked on their website, and they have on demand, but on Saturdays they only do 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. and that's it. They don't do any of the rest of the day on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So that did exist. We didn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can be sort of proactive and make it happen by contacting our contacts.
Yeah. It's a really great event. I enjoy that so much, the community coming out
It's a
and
good idea.
seeing everybody and the neighbors. And
It's a great
just
community.
So wonderful. It's a really great community, and it's so community building.
Big shout out to
and-
John, too, for paying for all the shirts.
Yeah, it was a nice touch.
It was a really nice.
Very nice.
You're
touch.
welcome, yeah.
Thank you. That was really sweet. Okay, then we'll move on to the summer interns, which are amazing. They are so hardworking. There's so much work being done. Every time I go out there and I look at what I've told them to do, it's above and beyond. It's really great. Like I tell them, do this, and you're probably not going to get to all of it. And then the next day they said, we did it all. And I said, that's impossible. They're really great, and they're very smart, and they're very, it's just been a really great summer.
And their term is coming to an end.
Yes.
And so
Quickly, very
on
quickly.
Tuesday, the 25th, is the traditional intern prairie hopping day. So if any of you would like to go, that's the date. We usually leave in the morning, and we come back by around 3 o'clock,
Or 4.
or 4 if Agnes is driving.
No, because it's fun to spend time in these areas, and they don't mind spending a little bit.
So
more time.
typically, we go to 2 to 3 sites, and then we have lunch with them, and it's just a big love fest, and we give them a couple of presents, and wish them well, and push them out the door.
Yeah, so that Tuesday is Ari's last day, and then Catherine will be staying on for another week after that.
She took a week's vacation in the middle.
In the
so-
middle, right. So then the micro internship has been really fun, really great. 3 great high school kids that are completely interested, very just willing to even work a little bit. just unbelievably great. It's just been a little difficult to do because of, the time required. So I'm basically using up every single minute of my spare time other than work to do this. So it's been difficult to just even get, I don't know, like things around the house done, because it's like every minute. But I enjoy it so much. I'm just not sure that maybe next summer. I'm excited about fall high school interns and spring high school interns. I'm just not sure that summer.
I think we should just eliminate that.
In the
It's
summer,
just
because
too-
we've got the summer interns and we've got the high school interns, and I try not to combine them because there's different educational experiences for both of them. Sometimes they can be combined, but I really want to make the best of it for everybody, so it's been just a lot of hours. Very enjoyable, though, absolutely, really fun. So I'm looking forward to fall, but I don't know about next summer for the high school interns. Unless there's like 8 of them, then maybe I'll consider it.
You have to clone you.
Well,
We
no, I
have
mean,
to.
it's so great because these kids are really interested
They
in the
are.
environment and in nature, and they want to go into it, and
Well,
college.
2 of them were at the workday.
Yes,
And I
they
got a
came-
chance to talk to Sonia. It's just
Yeah,
really great kids.
and they're very interested, and they're thinking about going into it in college, and they want to sort of like dip their toes in, and I'm just trying to make it, a lot of dipping of toes so that they really want to go into the field, and it's been great. It's also been fun that more high schoolers want to do that too.
Yes.
In the beginning, we had like 1 or 2, now there's 3, it's great. Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that. Continuous reporting. NRC budget, John?
Okay, I sent a copy of the budget out to everybody. So if you had a look at it, you'll see that our annual budget has been whittled down to about $9,700 at this point. So that was a lot of supplies, and of course, I saw the most of the wages for the interns, the summer interns. I don't know if anybody has any questions about any of that. It's pretty straightforward. And then the Hillcrest Lake Shoreline Restoration budget is, we were given $5,000. It's down to $1,700 and change. So we still have some money to spend
we have
on that.
aquatic
We have
plants,
aquatics to
yeah.
to buy.
Aquatics,
Yeah.
too. Mhm.
So we're looking good.
Mhm.
So we still have to purchase the aquatics, or we
Yeah.
did already?
Yes.
Okay.
And plant them, that would be a good idea for the interns, so they could do it.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. City civic meetings and PHNRC representation.
Only just 2 things to mention. We were appreciative of Dino Squires, Superintendent of Facilities and Parks, met with us at 214 South Wheeling Road to discuss the area between the park and the existing building. They're clearing out approximately half the distance between the 2 utility poles in the back of the site, but we do not want them to disturb the section that NRC planted a few years ago. Flags will be placed around the perimeter of the prairie plants. Also, Dino, as we had mentioned previously, he's retiring at the end of this month, and Mark Grassi will be the new superintendent of parks and facilities. And all of his bio information is in the minutes, or will be in the minutes, so. those are the Thanks.
Great. Comments? No. Okay. New business. Prospect Heights Park District Summer Camp.
Okay, the dates that Laura has just given me is the week of August 7th through the 11th.
Okay.
There's going to be a minimum of 50 kids,
That's all?
and we need to decide how many days we want to do, and who's going to participate. Because the interns started earlier this year, they're not going to be available. So we can fall back on volunteers to help, because I know a couple of them would be glad to participate. But at some point, I need to know if everybody's on board for what they have previously done, so you guys get
What time of
involved.
day?
It's 8 o'clock in the morning or 9, it was 8 or 9?
They start at 9, but we usually set up at 8.
Yeah.
And then
And
it's
it's
till,
over till noon.
till noon. Mm-hmm.
I will be out of town those few days, so
Okay.
I also will not be available.
Oh, boy.
skin and bones.
Well, I mean, we could pick up Skin and Bones and someone else can do it, but
Mm-hmm.
that,
And I have conflicts on the Tuesday and Thursdays, the Tuesday and Thursday of that week, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday are possible.
Ed in the Creek. We need Ed in the Creek.
And Tuesday and Thursday, you're not available?
Correct.
Jill?
I want to participate. I have to double check with my work schedule, and I don't have it with me, but I had a couple of ideas of some things that I wanted to do, such as how to tell the weather by looking at the sky and then listening to birds and how birds can tell you what's happening around you. So I want to dig deeper into that. That was going to be my suggestion,
Okay,
but I will let you know.
it's coming up fast, so.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's going up real fast. That kind of cements it as one-day event.
I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do a Wednesday?
Yeah, have to be.
Just because can only take so many days off of work. So let's aim for then
I mean,
Wednesday,
that works for me,
Wednesday
Okay.
the 9th.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Then next is the PHNRC website.
Well, there's just two things. It's, I've got to update and add Gerard's new webpage to the site, and then I'll be creating the 4th of July page. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, I don't know where we stood, Dana, I know I contacted you about, like, if you Google PHNRC commissioners, up comes the old stuff and all that. Did I talk about that?
Yeah.
Was that-
What you're pulling up there is something that's cache, it's stuck in your cache, and if you clear your cache out, it probably won't do that. So, and what it's pulling up is, it's pulling up the Nature Speaks thing that we did. And again, you gave that presentation a couple days ago,
Yeah,
and you weren't in that photo. And it's
Yeah.
not, it wasn't a commissioner's photo, it was the people who actually did the talk, and that's the difference there. So, when I Google up PHNRC, it just pulls up the website, so,
But if you do PHNRC commissioners,
I don't know what you got.
yeah, I don't know either.
But if you clear your cache, it'll probably quit doing that. That's about all I can tell you.
sometimes it pulls up the Pine Haven Nursing and Rehabilitation.
They must know about our Friday workdays.
Oh, my gosh.
I had to say that. And I don't even.
Oh, boy.
So here, just to show you, if I put in PHNRC,
Mm-hmm.
up comes this, and one of the things is calendar, PHNRC commissioners, volunteers, so on and so forth, right?
Right,
If I click on PHNRC commissioners, that's what I get.
okay. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. I'll take a look at it again.
Okay.
It's pulling up the Nature Speaks, but there is a commissioner's page on the website.
Yeah. and-
All right,
Well, when I just Googled it, I get mostly the Nuclear Regulatory Commission as
Yeah.
the first 10 hits.
No,
Yeah,
you're right.
this
It takes
is
me,
what I'm talking about.
it takes
I
me
do
to the,
PHNRC Google,
Yeah.
I get us, and then one of the click-on things is commissioners, and I click on that, and I get an old thing.
Okay.
But
you,
again, if
when
that's
you,
cached, that page is cached in your device.
No, it's not about cache, it's about, look, this is how it's listed.
well,
But again, if it's cached, it's
Yeah,
not
but-
gonna pull up a fresh page, it's gonna pull up whatever's in your cache.
Well, I don't think that's the issue.
okay, the very first thing is, yeah, when you click on that very first one, right? But then, but that's,
You just put in PHNRC.
I did.
Just, commissioners.
Yeah, I did, yeah,
No,
right.
just put in PHNRC.
Oh, then I get the website. I don't get any commissioners at all. I just
Well, you
get,
get .com, right? If you just
Yeah.
put in the thing, just PHNRC and nothing else, not
Right.
.com or.
okay.
You see here, PHNRC Commissioners, click on Commissioners. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I got on the first site, but then when you go to the actual website, it doesn't do that.
I know, but I'm just.
I mean, I don't know how you can change the website to reflect the,
Well, it's a Google problem, so I gotta go figure out what it's doing is what I gotta do, now that I fully understand what he's saying.
yeah,
I kind of like the old picture.
right, but, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Okay. All right, moving on then. Eagle Scout projects.
Okay, we've been besieged by Eagle Scout project requests, and you sure hate to turn them away. It's really hard to keep coming up with ideas for these kids, and you don't want to make a million benches. One potential idea that we had, we've been talking to Joe Wade and talking to Christina about the possibility of maybe being able to naturalize some of the public lands around the Prospect Heights facilities or the Park District. We have a meeting coming up at some point to talk about that idea and the potential sites. The good thing about that would be that these would be small conversion projects that we could just pull off the shelf and give it to an Eagle Scout. It takes care of it. It's a big problem solver if we can actually make something like that happen. So
Make a sign. or
they can make a
something.
sign for it, they can, working with us, of course. We give them the plants, but they plant them. Agnes does the herbiciding. All the infrastructure stuff that we would normally do, we would do. Or they would help us do it, but they would do the bulk of the work and then be able to hang their tag on that specific site. And the byproduct of that is that more and more the identity of Prospect Heights becomes natural areas, so, and we get more green corridors, so. Remains to be seen, but it's a possible solution to the Eagle Scout requests. Any thoughts, ideas?
I think it's a great idea.
I had suggested maybe if someone could get behind some kind of a plastics campaign. A lot of our stores and vendors and everything in Prospect Heights use an awful lot of plastic that's single use, and it's really, you go to our natural areas, you can almost invariably pick up a whole bag of plastic. If there could somehow initiate a campaign where, reusable bags are encouraged, or they somehow, we print them or replace them, there's some kind of advertising or propaganda that goes out encouraging the use of that kind of thing and discouraging use, or even getting store owners to switch over to paper or some kind of reusable item rather than a million plastic bags that go out. In some of our stores around here, it's absurd how much plastic they use. And so, I don't know. Could a scout get behind something like that? Talk to the
Question
city
for the
or-
Scouts?
Question for the scout, yeah.
Sure,
Bring it
ask
up
them.
as a, right, potential project, sure. Definitely.
We would back them up, I think, with our commission and and help out with that, but,
Sure,
just a thought.
it's a good thought.
I
Absolutely,
can certainly ask them.
yeah,
I
especially
mean,
the next one.
I don't think we'd need to involve the city per se, because that's more private businesses in town. That's not to say that,
Well, some communities
Citywide
have ordinances
government,
where they, they charge for like plastic bags or
Right,
something like
correct.
that. It's a requisite. It's big on the West Coast. It's not that big out here. But it should be.
well, I'm not arguing against that.
No, I
In
know,
fact, but I would think that would be separate from an Eagle Scout project, but still worthwhile, period. Maybe from just as a commission position, to encourage our council, to maybe come up with some type of policy regarding that, that would mirror some nearby. I think Evanston has a pretty,
Do they?
I
Chicago
believe
charges
so.
for plastic bags.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Peter, do you have something to chime in with?
No, but any communications with our businesses would have to be approved through,
Sure, of
because
course.
I know, it doesn't sound like it, but you do carry weight because you're the Natural Resources Commission for Prospect Heights. So you go in there and say, hi, we're Prospect Heights Natural Resource Commission. They could immediately assume this is a directive from the city.
Right.
So,
Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
No.
no,
Yeah.
it could be misconstrued.
Right,
Yes.
right. No, your point's well taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
But something like that would be more scout driven, and you can suggest it
Yeah.
as a worthwhile project.
Yeah.
Or maybe in
But
the,
yeah, we do have to be careful. We are a city commission, so.
well, maybe we should address it for city council, and then if
That's
some
what I'm
initiative is
suggesting.
pushed forward, then we can involve an Eagle
Doesn't hurt to
Scout
bring it up, and then
initiative.
we can see where it lands. Yeah.
So it would help to do our research and find out what other communities are doing, even though it might not be the majority of them, but what the best practices are, and come up with a proposal.
Yes,
Yeah.
come to council with it, absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
We'll look into it.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Okay, next, is I want to insert that new initiatives topic here. The Rotary Club has asked us to give a talk on the PHNRC on August 3rd at 12 o'clock at the Palm Court Restaurant. Dr. Joseph Muscolino and Karen Baker is a club administrator, but Joseph is very interested in the PHNRC and what we do. He's trying to create a new satellite club that's focused on natural issues. And he says the Rotary International recently added protecting the environment as one of the 7th core causes, and he's looking for community partners to work to offer that service opportunities to their members. So that's why he wants us to give a presentation. Anybody who wants to participate in that, anybody who wants to give it, we have canned presentations. You can absolutely do
Is that a-
whatever you want.
Is that a Thursday
That's a
at noon?
Thursday. Yes.
It's a Thursday at
At noon.
noon.
I won't be able to do that.
Yeah, I know that.
I can,
Really?
Okay,
if you want, yeah.
all right, cool.
If
So is this
I
a
am-
PowerPoint that you have, or?
We have-
Yeah.
just
We have
lots of
many
PowerPoints.
PowerPoints.
You'll have to wear a suit.
I have a suit.
That's August 3rd?
Yeah.
Shoot, that's the day I leave town. Sorry, I'd help you out.
So he's basically looking for this presentation on what we do and how we do it, and then he's looking to maybe partner with us to do work days for the people that he gets in his group to get them started. So said, sure, why not?
Yeah,
The second one is Hebron Church. After the hot dog luncheon, I met with Pastor John, and he expressed great admiration for what we do, especially the parade. And he was asking if there was something that we could do with members of his congregation that could help them become more integrated into Prospect Heights, and at the same time, get them involved in nature and doing natural things. He said, absolutely. I reached out to him and said, you know, we can do tours, we can do educational talks, we can do special work days. He mentioned straight up that they can't do Sundays ever. So perhaps, you know, a work day there. And then I even suggested to them, if they are interested in naturalizing their land around their church, that perhaps we could even start a work group with their people at their church, and so all the work that they would be doing and education they'd be getting they would be the direct benefits of it as well. And then, of course, we get more green corridors, and all the birds love us. So those are the two things that I wanted to talk about.
Any comments?
So I haven't heard back from Pastor John yet, so at some point he'll be calling me and we'll further the conversation.
Hey,
Just to, I mean, you already know this, but just to say that as we get more and more people just putting in little patches here and there, it adds up.
It really does.
It sure does, Doug, tell me.
It does, it does. You know, we have an eastern kingbird that is nesting somewhere near the, I've never seen an eastern kingbird before,
Several.
ever in my life. And there it is, and just right around our house, right by the slough. And it's just so exciting, you know, to see these new species and the insects and everything, and to see the community embracing it, and then, you know, our neighbors wanting to do the same and wanting to see the same birds. And when they, as soon as they do naturalize, they see so many more insects and birds, and it's just really great.
Okay, moving on, Nature's Finest Workdays. I just want to give a big shout out to Joel Steffens. He wood chipped the paths leading to both the north and south boardwalks today. It just did an incredible job. The guy's just a working machine. And so big thanks to him. Nature's Finest Workdays are the retiree group, meet on Friday mornings when there's a need, or if anybody's not too tired.
It
What
doesn't
it-
interrupt their nap time.
Oh my God. What are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing.
What?
No, I think we're helping you with the planting at the lake.
Oh, you are?
Surely
Okay.
you can
Yes,
put
you
some-
can drill the holes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
Oh, you can?
So did you send out the notice yet?
No, I'll send it on.
Okay, all right.
All right, so that's all I had to say about them. And then board meetings in the summer. I was going to propose that we do not meet in June and July.
We had
And
so
we-
much to talk about today.
Yeah, it's just because. But it's such a burden to do these things. There's so little time, and literally, we're going from 6 in the morning till midnight just about every night of the week. And it's just a lot of extra work. And if we could just skip the summer when
What about skipping just June?
I'll
I don't-
take
but there's-
anything.
There's a lot to talk about at our
I'll take
meetings.
Is there a requirement, Pete, that how many
No.
times we should meet?
Meet as much as you want or as little as you want.
We can meet
Your
once a
schedule
year.
is the second Thursday of every month, so if you don't meet, you just have to cancel. Or if you change the date, you have to do a special meeting.
Or maybe
and also,
alter.
you guys pretty much approve your budget
Yeah,
at the beginning, and you have a list of what you're gonna buy and all that. So as far as you having to meet to spend that money, I don't think there's really a dire need for it. Like say the city does, every 2 weeks they pass a warrant list. So worst case scenario, if you wanted to spend money that wasn't budgeted for A, or that was budgeted for A that you want to spend on B, worst case scenario, I would reach out to all 6 of you, and then just get approval for it, and then that would be approved at the following meeting that you guys meet. So you don't necessarily have to meet June and July, and you can still make decisions and spend money.
So
Okay.
one idea is if you were to omit 2 months is maybe to alternate it
Time.
instead of 2 in a row, so
Yeah.
maybe June and August.
Yeah,
Or
but even
July
if we took June and August off and just met in July, that would be fine with me.
'cause 2 months in a
Starting
row
with
is
this
a long
August.
time.
starting with this
Because then it's
August.
3 months, it's 3 months between meetings if you do them two
Yeah, that's too
consecutive.
much. That's,
But if you just skipped, say, June and August, then at most you have a 60-day gap.
and I mean, we can see how it goes and then, change our minds at any point, I'm sure. It's not-
Or schedule a date if we have to meet.
Or do a special meeting if we needed to meet.
It's particularly the summer months, Dana, that you're concerned about? It's
Yeah.
particularly the
It's just-
summer
We're
Yeah,
so
it's just the
busy.
summer months. It's just,
There's
I
so
mean,
much
there's
going
so
on.
much to do and there's just so little time. It's really frustrating. I mean, we still haven't even got our garden in, so.
You should see their laundry pile.
So I don't know, do we need a motion to approve that?
Agreement,
No, you
just agree.
Oh, and you talking about for this year or for next year?
Next year. Well, you said August.
I said this August and,
Well, you as a body can just decide to cancel the meeting.
Yeah.
okay,
So
I would,
if you're not gonna have your August meeting, then you can,
The only
you
thing
can
I
make a motion right now.
want to mention is Prairie Week, and we usually talk about that in August. And I think I had put that down, but you took it off the agenda. It's the third week in September, and we have the bird walk that would.
Right,
that
we were
week.
gonna like cut back on that
Yes.
as well because no one ever comes.
Right.
They don't.
Okay.
They don't. So it was just,
All right.
we just acknowledge it and call it a day.
And as far as events and things, we just, email like, oh, this is happening, or,
Right.
All right.
there's no major decisions being made.
I second that motion.
Anybody in
Okay.
agreement there? All
All
right,
right.
so no August meeting
No
this
August
year,
meeting, and then next,
And then June and August off next year.
yes.
Excellent. Thank you,
Everybody
guys.
agrees?
Thank you,
All
thank
right,
you, thank
great.
you.
I'll
You just saved my life.
save your life.
That's very important. We can't lose
Okay.
you.
Okay. All righty then. Closing in on announcements to the public. Set? None today? Anybody else?
I just sent you guys a photo. Last time we met, I talked about this laundry detergent that we use
Oh,
that
yeah.
comes in a packet.
Yeah, we bought this. It's
All right. Yeah. So I just sent you a picture. I mean, this envelope is smaller than this sheet of paper, and you get 60 sheets in it, and you can
60 loads.
60 loads of wash right there, and it's literally like in a
It's
very
awesome.
small
It's really.
biodegradable packet. It's really
We
good.
bought it, we tried it out, and it's great stuff.
All right.
Wow. And so no plastic bottle and.
There it
not
is.
even- Yeah, there
There
it
it
is,
is.
just a little
Where do you
bit.
buy it?
Amazon.
Yeah.
It's $14 for 60 sheets. And then you can buy Downy dryer sheets and you're done.
Right. So
A lot of plastic eliminated.
tons of plastic eliminated right there.
Good idea.
Great announcement.
Yes, thank you very much. What is it called again? It's called
Earth
Breeze.
Earth Breeze. Yeah,
I just
sent
sent you the
us,
picture.
but anybody who might be
I'll have it in the
listening.
minutes.
Okay, yeah, so Earth Breeze Laundry.
Maybe it's a
detergent.
product we want to
Eco
feature on
sheets.
the website or something.
Sure.
It's a great idea. Mm-hmm, thank you.
We could
Thanks,
have a
Jeff.
shopping tab.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, we have no visitors, so I motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you.